Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman show. I have a very special guest tonight, Ms. Julia Novak, who is a psychic medium, but also I want to really introduce you to this woman because we are so blessed to have Julia joining us for our Alchemystic Conference in Glastonbury this November. She's flying in all the way from the United States of America, and she's joining us here tonight looking beautifully goddessy in her Mother Mary aquamarine top. How are you, Julia? Thank you for joining me.
Oh, I'm very well. It's so great to be here with you. I've just been looking forward to our conversation and just to keep working the magic of what's to come in November.
I love it. I can't wait to see you in the flesh and actually for us all to meet up and have a big old cuddle and a love in. It's been a long
Exactly.
time in the coming, hasn't it?
Yes. And well, it's a little interesting from a psychic perspective of meeting with you because it's like meeting, like you're the lead singer and you have this whole chorus of beings behind you. So it's really interesting to have this conversation. It's more than just you. So I'm enjoying that as well.
I love it. I love it. Yes, I can see your aura bouncing off your head as well. It's lovely. So I just want to dive straight in and just ask you if you would share with our viewers a little bit about yourself and your journey and what led you to this work in the first place.
Oh, yes, I'd love to. It's been a really interesting journey and one that I just started to understand and appreciate the whole al alchemy of my journey. I've been able to see it more, as you said, I've been working from my home here in San Francisco Bay Area for nearly 30 years with people, primarily people who are exhausted overgivers and highly sensitive and overloaded empaths and frustrated creatives, and helping them find their way back to self. And I do that by taking them down this road of wisdom, heart, and courage, this journey that I've been on myself. And it really started not in California for me, but I was raised in the Midwest in a very practical, hardworking kind of home. And but always had a sense that I didn't quite belong there and always knew that I would leave. But I had this interesting juxtaposition of my life of having had a near-death experience when I was quite small. I was about 4 years old, and at the same time was experiencing some other physical trauma in my life. And that kind of set me up for this journey of light and dark and the down and back, because I am very familiar with the underground and having died, and knowing that there's this potential for transcendence there, but also having been a naturally very joyful and curious child, and believing and knowing and having that longing for something more as well. So I've been going back and forth in these two places my whole life, and that's really formed the basis of my work and what I have to offer other people, because I understand that darkness. I used a lot of things like addiction to outrun it. And when that didn't work any longer, I spent the first half of my life trying to outrun it. And the second half of my life, I have been fine-tuning and trying to be a bridge between those two places, and kind of consider myself a bridge between heaven and earth, or at least I try to be for other people.
I'm chuckling because before we came on to record this, viewers, I was saying to Julia, just reading her bio, how much the two of us have in common. And we have a very similar story in that regard as well. And I had a feeling that one of the topics for tonight was going to be about death and life after death and what to expect. You see, I died at birth and
Mm.
was resuscitated. And I always say that I've always had a foot on either side of the veil as well, and the dark and the light, and holding that balance, and heaven to earth, all of it. I feel like we've known each other in lifetimes, and we probably have a similar mission. And it's just, it's magical to feel this lovely resonance with you, and to have a little bit of an understanding of where you're coming from. You know, obviously no two journeys are the same, and the work that you do is so highly important for people. So many going through that dark night of the soul, and dealing with huge fears and huge trauma. And you know, we've got such a huge portal opening with so many leaving the planet at this time. But what would you say to people about your knowledge of death and the afterlife to help give them some comfort or reassurance?
I think the most important thing is, and that's what I try to help people tap into now. When you can tap into yourself and your center and experience that oneness, then you know that even though our bodies are important, it's not who we are. It's not what we are. And even though I don't have specific memories of dying when I was young, I do know that it connected me to this sense of oneness that we all can access here and now in different ways. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to go to the convent. You don't have to, you know, it's available to us now. And there's just nothing to fear.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. If people come to work with you, because you do one-on-one sessions, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What can they expect from a session?
Primarily, as I always say, I tell my clients, I'm just a mirror. I'm a mirror holding, I'm just so that you can see yourself as I see you, this just amazing spirit full of potential. So what happens in the process of a reading, and even though every reading is unique, I have this kind of step-by-step process that I do. And I love first to see people as kind of the 30,000 foot level, where I see the story that they've created. And that's really their kind of myth or their alchemy journey. And just recognize what they brought forward from their past lives into now, and kind of what roots them in their own soul this lifetime. And then I look at the energy of symbols or pictures or whatever, people that pop up in their aura. And for whatever reason, it's always 3. And this is like my client kind of opening the book to me and saying, this is what I need to know. This is what's relevant. This is what's important. And so I relate that, and we discuss those things. And then I get into specific questions as to what brought them to the reading. And normally people who come to me are in this place of some kind of transition where something has changed. And all of my clients are highly intuitive and creative and have done the work and know a lot, but still have this, kind of longing, or perhaps this bit in themselves that keeps pulling them back down. And so oftentimes we look for what is that still needs to be heard. What is that in the negative emotions, in the discontent, the depression, which is, rampant now. So what is that part of you trying to tell you? And so we do a lot of energy work. We do a lot of shadow work, inner work. It's just whatever comes up. It's always a mix of things, and it's always a nice surprise.
I always find it so important, isn't it, to to help people understand that their emotions are actually their friend and they can actually master them and work with them. I always say they're like actually quite like a helpful compass to help you navigate through life once you kind of realize that they're not always as scary as they seem. And oftentimes we're just afraid of like fear itself, that age-old quote. It so resonates with people. I would love to talk to you a little bit about your session at Alchemystic and what people could expect to see you, to get to come and see you in person at this event is something quite special here in the UK. So what do you have planned for us?
Well, the working title, as I'll say, is Down and Back, the Journey of Empowerment. And what I really want to bring to the event is kind of this acceptance of the parts of ourselves that we judge and try to outrun, like the parts of us that feel discontent or afraid or depressed, even, because depression was such a part of my story over and over and over again. So it's like recognizing that those tendencies, those feelings, those experiences are often an indicator that you're really powerful, that your sensitivity is your superpower. All of the people I know who are extremely psychically sensitive and empathic, they tend to fall into this, either being really introverted or oversensitive or struggle. And so we're going to look at that part of ourself, or maybe that voice, and see what the gift is. To find out and like connect with that part, to see what's hidden there, because there is wisdom. And oftentimes it comes to this place of self-love. These parts of ourself are trying to say, stop and turn your power on yourself. Especially the out of control healers, as I call them, who are and overgivers, who are constantly giving out and don't know how to turn that on themselves at all. So self-love has been, and self-care has really been bandied about, especially in the States. I don't know about self-care. It's like, well, what does that really mean? By tapping into your intuition, you can find out what that is. And that's really the focus of my talk and my work, is how do you connect up with that voice of intuition, the language of the soul, to find out and to connect with your true empowerment.
And it's really, it's wonderful. Like, as you're speaking, what my guides are saying is, she's leading each individual to their own nugget of alchemical gold, because as we know, I've always said this, it's different strokes for different folks. You can't really have one band-aid solution for everybody, because we're all so unique and individual. And when people learn that art of self-inquiry, where they can go in and navigate their own inner landscape, I suppose, it's so empowering and it's so beautiful. I can't wait for your session. Actually, it's going to be amazing. And I remember when Colm said that you were joining us, and I just got tingles from head to toe, and I've got them again now. It's like the goosebumps city going off over here. It's fantastic. I love it. So obviously we've got like 15 speakers coming to this event. I'm actually pinching myself that we've managed to pull together quite such a beautiful group of souls. Is there anyone coming that you feel particularly drawn to, that you're looking forward to the session of yourself on a personal level?
Well, honestly, I have been looking forward to being able to spend time with you and hear your presentations and what you have to say, and especially the interaction between you and Colm. I think that will be fascinating.
He's like my soul brother.
Yes, I think it, and just just the balance that you bring, I think that's going to be amazing. I'm trying to, I'm going down the list of faces in my mind, and I'm not sure at the moment, but I'm just ready to show up there. You know, for me, honestly, too, it is the place itself, the setting that I feel like is going to be such a powerfully healing experience. I know for me personally, but I can't imagine that it can't be for other people. I had such a impactful experience in seeing an image of the well from the Glastonbury Cathedral, that I just feel like I'm going to have another spiritual experience when I'm there. So
go to Glastonbury and not really have some sort of profound experience. I find every time it's always like, oh, what goodies does it have up its sleeve for me this time?
right. And, you know, and I love that it's such a high vibration place. And for me, part of what the message that I like to bring to people too, of the practicality of intuition and how you can really ground your spirituality in everyday life. Because, you know, not, as I said, not everybody's going to run off to a convent and find themselves, you know, and the people that I work with, they want to be able to incorporate this in their daily life. And as you said, that's how you change that inner landscape. And I know it's your vision, and I share this vision of when we change our inner landscape, the outer landscape changes. So this is our opportunity to shift the world in a bigger way. And it's not to be taken lightly. It's so magical. That is the magic. When people realize, when they listen to and trust their intuition, and something shifts in themselves, and then suddenly all the people they've been trying to change or the things they're trying to solve, they resolve themselves, they change. Miracles happen. So I'm expecting miracles.
I kind of, one of the things I love about all the people that we have coming, and especially yourself, is that I know that it's 2020 on the clock too as we record this, as I'm about to say this. I love the alignment. Is that each one of our speakers I know has really walked the path, really walked their talk, and some of us have been almost, you know, put in the place we're in, not necessarily by choice or by choice by our higher self, but completely guided. And some of that means that we know what it feels like to have been cracked open and to go through those really difficult times when you're on your knees and you feel like you've got no way forward. And to me, you know, it's such a humbling and beautiful experience to meet people such as yourself, who have chosen to take your pain and your struggle and use it to help others. And to me, that is the mark of a true healer. It's just, that's the true alchemist. If you can take those experiences and not let them crush you. I mean, they do crush you, but to use them for good, is that, to me, is the core of alchemy. To take those experiences and color them with love and come through it and then share the wisdom that you've gained from it. And this is why Colm and I wanted to run this event. And because we know people, we realized that we ourselves had walked through struggle and discovered our gold, and still continue to walk through struggle. It's never a picnic in the park, and it's quite intense on the planet right now. But yeah, we realized, wow, we've got a collection of these people in our lives who really are salt of the earth, incredible healers and speakers. And to me, it's such an honor to bring you all together. And I can't wait. I can't wait for your session. I can't wait to learn from each of you. And you know, I know that bringing people together in a group, in, as you say, such a powerful setting, we have such a powerful opportunity to send some healing out into the collective as well. And to have there's a microcosm and there's a macrocosm, and I see it as being, we're holding open a kind of a portal, a love portal, on the planet.
Yeah, I'm hoping you can bring it to San Francisco next year.
We'll bring it on the road. We'll bring it on the road. Alchemistic abroad. Brilliant. I love that. That would be awesome. Watch this space, America. We're coming. Amazing. Well, is there anything else you would like to share with people or let them know? And I will just let all our viewers know that I'm going to share all the links for how you can read about Julia's work and book in with her and find out about her book and her journey below the video, so you can access her, and there'll be information about her speaking slot at Alchemistic as well. But any last words, Julia?
Yeah, I did want to share just briefly my book, Down and Back, A Guide to Living Happy with Depression. And this really summarizes not only my own journey, but the work that I've done with others in, coming to these darker places and finding my way back out, and how I teach that. And how each time we go back, if we're willing, we come back with more information. We come out ahead. We come back wiser. And so I kind of fancy myself this way shower with the lamp, it's like I'll go down. The myth of Persephone very much is real in my life. So I'm down and back all the time. But it is.
My house is named Persephone.
Oh.
This is nuts. Or not.
It's perfect. Perfect. So anyway, for those who may not be able to make it to the conference and are interested in my work, you can purchase this online, print form and electronically. And I won't be able to schlep a bunch of books with me, but I hope to be able to share that as well. But again, it just feels like it's alchemy that's bringing me there. It's intuition that's bringing me to this place. And that in itself speaks to the power of what happens when you listen to your heart and act with courage and just take that step. And I just feel very, very blessed to join in. So thank you for creating this and trusting yourself. And thank you for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Angel. The honor is all ours. And thank you so much for coming on to speak to me on the Alexandra Wenman show tonight. And I can't wait to see you in person. The next time I see you will probably be online, but we'll see each other in a number of months in person.
It will be here before we know it. So
absolutely. And so for all of you watching, thank you so much for joining myself and Julia. We really hope to see you in November in Glastonbury. If you can make it in person, come and have a love-in. And if not, obviously, I'll share all the links to Julia's work below so you can find her. And do let us know what you're looking forward to at the Alchemistic event. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.